What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in to another one. You're freaking amazing. So guys, I have a very exciting video planned for you today. We have an incredibly well-known pro player here on the channel to give us his best tips on how to dominate with the newest brawler in this game, Tick. Now, the pro player that we have featured in today's video is Corey, and that's spelt with an I, a very well-known pro Nova player here in the Brawl Stars community that has quite honestly dominated with Tick on ladder. Within the very first 2 days, he managed to push his Tick up to 750 trophies, giving him that #1 spot. So Corey and I are going to be going over some of the best tips in order to master Tick in the meta that we're currently in. So hope you guys learn a thing or two in today's video. And with that being said, let's hop straight away into it. Here we go. Okay guys, so let's head straight away into this. So first things first, we're going to be covering some general tips on Tick, such as what maps tend to work really well with him, what game modes does he dominate on, as well as matchups that you want to avoid, as well as the matchups that he tends to do very, very well against. And then once we get done with that, we're going to be spectating some of Corey's live matches with Tick with a pro team comp on some of the game modes that are out in rotation right now that he tends to do very, very well on. And we're going to be having him on the line in today's episode to give us first-hand tips while he's playing in the match. And then at the very end of the video, your boy Ray is going to be hopping into some matches with Corey to see if we can't pick up some solid trophies. And of course, guys, make sure to go check out Corey. All the links will be in the description down below. He's thinking about starting a YouTube channel here very soon, as well as his Twitter will be down below. So make sure to go support him. It's super, super important to support the pro players. So I'd really, really appreciate that, guys. And with that being said, let's hop into these tips. Here we go. Okay, so heading into one of the most important tips for Tick given by Corey himself, and that is positioning is key. One thing that you gotta keep in mind about Tick is that he is a lobber brawler, and a very particular lobber brawler at that. Inherently, the lobbers have a hard time warding off damage when people get right on top of you, just because it's hard to aim. Some of them have delay, such as Dynamite, and Barley just doesn't have a whole lot of bursty damage right when a brawler is right on top of you, and Tick is no exception. He's probably even worse than them at that, because there's such a delay with the mines, as well as it's not a whole lot of damage. But where Tick makes up for this is his incredibly long range, where he has the capability to withstand and basically outmatch some of the lower health brawlers in the game pretty dang easily if you keep them at your longest range or just staying out of their range to take damage. Also, you'll find while playing with Tick that it's incredibly often that the enemy teammates will group up in very strange positions on the map in order to avoid the onslaught of mines that you're placing out with Tick, and it's all due to the very wide crowd control based basic attack that he has. Now, when this happens, you need to try to capitalize, because it's a very rare thing when brawlers kind of give up their lanes in order to avoid the damage that's coming in. If they're all huddled in the right lane, it's going to be really easy for your team to go for a pretty successful team wipe, as well as you gain control super easily if they're all around the map in very strange spots. Moving on to the next tip, and that is sometimes it's incredibly important to save your super depending on the brawlers that you're going up against. Guys, the hard counters to Tick are endless inside the game. Any of the tankier units are really good against Tick. Any of the faster brawlers are really good against Tick, and that makes up quite a big population in the game. Now, the faster brawlers are really good against him because they can avoid the delay in mines detonating very easily, as well as the tanks, they can just walk straight through the mine detonation. So what you want to do is hold on to your super if you're playing up against any of these brawlers for the last bloody second. When they're straight on top of you, say Mortis is swiping in on you, you wait until he dishes off all of his damage to get close in on you, and then you drop down your super, get the kickback, as well as disrupt his push with a lot of damage, 2,800 at max level. Some of the brawlers that you want to place your super on that's almost like free damage is another tank, some of the lobbers. Poco's very easy to pick up that super damage on. Any of the brawlers that don't do incredibly fast bursty damage. Next, moving on to the game modes and maps that Tick tends to do fairly well on inside of Brawl Stars. And there's one thing that you guys got to keep in mind, and that is he is a lobber. I want to make sure to remind you about that. And because of that, he's very map and game mode specific inside of Brawl Stars. You need certain elements in the maps that you want to play on, such as a good amount of walls in order to hide behind, especially Tick because he's very, very squishy, the lowest health in the game. So the game modes that he's really, really good on are Siege, Gem Grab, and some bounty maps. And then when you're picking maps in those specific game modes, he basically replaces Barley fairly well in this game. So if you have any success in this game on a particular map with Barley, you can probably play Tick on that map really, really well. But more specifically, game modes like Triple Dribble, Chill Cave, Junk Park, as well as the newest Brawl Ball map, Beach Ball. And then the two bounty maps that I think he does really, really well on are Layer Cake as well as Sunstroke. So picking the maps are pretty straightforward. Just try to ask yourself, is Barley or Dynamite going to be good on this particular map? And if your answer is yes, then Tick is going to do a really good job on that map as well. Next, we're going to be hopping into some spectating live matches with Corey while he's on the mic to give us some good first-hand tips while he's playing in-game against some really, really good teams. So guys, let's get into it. Here we go. Alrighty guys, hopping into match number 1 on Siege and queuing up. Let's see what team comp we're going up against here. But in the very first phases of this game, what's the main goal here with Tick? Where you want to play him on Siege, especially on this map?
You try to control the mid the most, hold their mid back for sure, and then help your teammates poke down the enemy, give them like a little advantage so they can win their matchup. Okay.
And it looks like, who's the mid here you're going up against? The Jesse? That's a pretty good matchup, right? They don't have a lobber either.
I think it's the Jesse or Penny.
Okay.
I'm not sure. They're both kind of playing mid. But yeah, both of them have a hard time versus me because I can just outrange them and hide behind the wall.
One question I got to ask. We've played a few games here. And sometimes you'll go up against like a Barley and stuff like that. What's your opinion on like the lobbers in the game? Because technically Tick's the 3rd lobber coming to Brawl Stars. In the standing compared to the other lobbers, where do you think he sits?
I think he sits on the top of the lobbers, actually.
Wow.
He outranges Barley, and he does more damage than Barley. And he has a super that can, like, I kind of think of it as like a Piper super, when a Mortis comes on you, you can just drop it and, like, kind of kill him almost.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem with Dynamite is slow health, because Dynamite can one-shot him with his super.
Gotcha.
So
you gotta be careful. It's almost like a trade-off. Tick's got long range, but he's so squishy. Oh, yeah. Nice ending on 1 push. Legend. Alright guys, heading into match number 2 of Siege. And that wasn't that long of a matchmaking, so I'm assuming organized team comp, but we have a Leon and a Colt, which is very untraditional team comp of what I've seen so far in the Siege meta, the new Siege meta. So what do you think about this comp? You think you got the upper hand here?
I definitely think we have the upper hand. I wouldn't play Colt on this map.
Yeah, this is definitely no-go for Colt. There's a lot of weird corners for him. I think the only thing that would really do good for him here is that he can destroy the walls. But still, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so they got first Siege, but
first Siege doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's more so like the second or the last one. Second last one or last one.
And a perfect, or almost perfect defense. The bot didn't make it, so I'm assuming someone got some damage. Probably the Tick. Okay, so I got a question for you. I know Tick just used one of my favorite things to do with Tick with super, and that is he put it in the bush behind him and let the Tick roam up with his speed and like avoid someone seeing the Tick's placement. Do you like doing that, or how do you use Tick super in a good way?
I usually use it when I'm close to someone, or I use it on someone that has a hard time destroying it, or just like wasted all their shots.
Gotcha.
So like I'll use it versus their Tick, or if the Leon is pushing me.
Okay, so almost like really like a defensive super.
Defensive, and it can also be offensive.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really like Tick super. Are we gonna be able to end it here? Nice. I've noticed from Tick so far, playing with him as well as watching some of your gameplay, is he almost has like both hands of lobbers. So he has that really juicy super that like almost comparable to Dynamite for defense as well as a great offensive push. And then he's got the long range poke damage that Barley has. It's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, he's like honestly he's like a mix of both, where he has like Barley's control and Dynamite's explosiveness with the Dynamite super. So I think he's best of both worlds. I think right now he's the best thrower in the game.
Alright guys, so hopping into the gameplay portion of this, we have Corey and Eric EX. We're going to be hopping into Siege first. Corey is, of course, rocking Tick. Eric is going to be using Bull, and I'm going to be using Rosa. It seems to be a really, really good comp. We already have some warm-up games going on, but we'll also, once we get done with Siege, hop into the other game modes that are out in rotation and see if we can't make those work as well. But, wish us luck. Let's do this thing. Okay, guys, we found our match. We're going up against, I don't know, it seems to be a decent team comp. They're running the full tank comp. We got some back support with Corey, though. That's the thing. Maybe he'll give us an edge. I feel like pretty comfortable going up against another Rosa. We'll have to see. Depends on if the bull will charge in. But the thing with the whole siege revamp is you really, really need to prioritize getting the screws. That is goal number 1. Like, you take damage to get the screws. It's the only thing that matters. Because you only have room for, like, 2 siege bots. 2 good ones. You might have time for, like, 3. I believe you get 3 complete robots. And then there's, like, 15 seconds left, so... But it looks like we're doing good here. We have 5 screws, or cogs, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I feel like I got some comments on our last video because I called them screws or something like that. I call them what I want to call them, I guess. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Bolts, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's get back to the gameplay. Okay, so 9-3. As you can see, Corey, I feel like the big difference here is the back support from Corey. He relatively has a hard time going up against tankier units like he is right now, but the main focus is on us, Eric and me, the big tanky guys that they have to take out. So he's left free to just do that fire support in the back, which is working out well for us. So a 14 siege bot on the technical 7, or the second push here, because we had a tie on the first one. We'll see if we can't end it here, actually. Alright, I'm going to go in, try to pick up my super again. Okay, are we going to be able to? Looks like we're going to. Nice, guys. Let's hop into another one on Siege. It's working very, very well for us. Okay, second match, and we made Brawl TV, baby. Oh, we're going up against Lex. Let's go. Perfect for the video. Okay, so let's dial in. Let's make sure we're doing what we're doing here. And let's be as strategic as possible. So like I said before, okay, we're up against Jeff. The big guy. I feel like Jeff is... Sam is really, really good. Sam's one of my favorite trophy-pushing buddies, but Jeff is a really good player. One of Lex's favorite trophy-pushing buddies. So let's make sure we're securing the bull. We technically have the better matchup here. We're better going up against the bull with the Rosa because we have that super on our hands. Also, Corey's helping us in the back like last game, helping peg the bull. So let's see if we can't get a few percents here, as well as I would like to get my super while we're going in here. Okay, we're going down. That's not a good thing. That's not what I wanted to do. But here we go. Okay, 2-1. We got to win the next siege, so we got to mount up, get back in our lane as fast as possible. Is Sam going to be... Okay, I wonder why... Sam should have picked up that screw. The funny thing is the last siege meta, you could just kind of play a little bit more passive. All you had to do is get one good siege push. But here it's just, you need screws. You need to get as many as possible. Okay, 5-3. Nice super by Corey. Okay, so I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I had my super here. Going in on the Ike. Okay, bear versus brawler. Let's just mount up here for the next push. Make sure we're geared up. Corey, stay alive as long as we're all alive when we get back to our lane, because the screws start spawning like crazy now. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, he just clipped us. Stay alive, Corey. Alright, let's just try and stay alive here. Okay, 4-9. Oh my goodness, not good. Okay, we have to defend this siege bot here, which we might be able to. We'll have to see. Alright, let's just stall him as long as possible. Okay, spawn in, spawn in, spawn in, spawn in. Beat them as fast as possible. We just got to keep the siege robot off us. Nice! Perfect defense! Let's go! It's so close. Okay, guys. Let's go. Next one. Alrighty, guys. Hopping into the next one, and we're playing in Gem Grab, and we have Shelly, Jean, and Tick as our comp. So we'll see how we can do. Looks like we're going up against some dope skins here. Who we playing? Anyone? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I feel a little bit more comfortable with Jean as gem carrier on this map. And like we said before in the beginning of the video, it's important to use Tick on game modes where lobbers are going to be thriving. Think of him just as somewhat like a secondary Barley. Okay, here we go. It's pretty interchangeable. They play kind of the same play styles here. Alright, let's try and pull the Barley. Get him out of the equation. There we go. Good deal, good deal. Okay, so we have 6 gems. But we have Crow jumping in. We're going to be going down, but I think it's going to be fine. Let's get back to lane as fast as possible. Hopefully the bow doesn't pick him up. Okay, he's got the mines placed on top of them. Imagine if he had the star power mines. Okay, that's fine. We can pick him up then. Okay, we need one more gem. Okay, let's take out Barley. Okay, Corey's got the other gem, so we have to keep him safe in order to preserve the countdown here. Okay, stay alive, Corey! Okay, he's gonna jump. Shield him. Oh, it was close in the end. But guys, we're rocking it. 3 straight wins. Let's go. Hop into another one. Okay, next one. Let's see. Are we going up against the same people? The matchmaking is so funny because we're a little bit higher in trophies, so it depends who's queuing up. So we'll see if we can't beat them again. Okay, they're off to a pretty decent start right off the get-go. We're all weak. Okay, good trade, good trade. Okay, I'm not sure where the bow is. Doesn't look like he's in the middle. Nope, he was down. Looks like Corey took him out. I was in the peripheral. I'm focusing on my lane here. I wasn't really paying attention to Corey's lane. So who's going to be the best target to super in? Corey looks like he's doing a great job over there on the left. Do we pull the bull? The bow, do we pull you? Yes, we do. Oh, so close. One thing that I always stress with Gene is don't try to be super fast with your pulls like I was there. Like, time him out. Be careful with them. Heal him up, heal him up, heal him up. Hey, one of the only times Gene's star power actually came in handy. Let's go. Okay, so we got 5 gems as players safe. Okay, we're not going to go down to that. Where's the other mine should be like right here. Yep, okay. Nice. We got countdown. Nicely done. We're going to pull the Barley if he gets any closer because he's a nuisance in the back. Okay, we're not going to go down just yet. Okay, pulling in the bull. We only got 2 supers that game. Okay, 1 nicely done. Those skins are fun to play against. Alright, you guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys all enjoyed it and found it informative. Make sure to let me know how you thought of the format in today's video. Sometimes I try to avoid having pro players on the channel when it comes to divulging the tips, just because sometimes pro players get a little bit nervous to come on the channel. Not so much as nervous, but just don't feel as comfortable talking, or they can't divulge all the tips as good as they can be. Because, guys, I know how hard it can be to talk on YouTube, so sometimes I just take their tips and then I present it in my own capacity. But when it comes to gameplay, pro players can talk and talk and talk because they're so good at the game. They can talk about it for hours. So if you enjoy watching that portion of it while they're on cam, make sure to let me know. As well as if you would like a pro player to come on for the tips part of it, make sure to let me know. Guys, feedback on these series is going to keep improving it over time. So I really, really appreciate the input that you give on these types of videos. So guys, yeah, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like on it. I really appreciate that. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, being a part of the Raid fam. I would truly appreciate it. I'd also like to give Corey one last thank you for coming on the channel. He was such a cool guy to yak at and talk to for a while, so it was really, really cool meeting him. So yeah, with that being said, everyone, make sure to keep having fun in Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
You're always stuck in my head, you know I can't forget it. I try to move on, but you're the one that I dream about. I sit alone.